any damage or put any pain down onto Blade Master.
Prathana Valkyries, the second he sees Nip walk out of that bush, he knows if he gets headbutt pulverized, he has not got the help to survive this. And now Candy Panda 6, he's going to go in, he will flash in, gets the stun off onto J-Ree, headbutt into the wall, pulverized doesn't miss as he gets a flash off at the last second, and Jana will survive.
A huge commitment. That Howling Gale so well timed. Knocked Candy Panda up the instant he started that Slicing Maelstrom. And in the middle lane, Lulu has managed to force Ari back. So Kevin, he is recalling, or was thinking about recalling, opting to stay in the lane to pick up just one or two of these last creep kills. And it looks as though Hawkdon with that blue buff has really put a lot of hurting down onto Kevin.
Yeah, he's up at level 8, so he's ahead of Kevin in the sense of XP. It's only slightly, but it's an extra minion wave. And, well, Kevin's off to go and get his own blue buff. And to be honest, when he does come back to lane, he's got to be really careful not to throw it straight away again.
You have to see Hawkdon, of course, 4 points into the Glitter Lance, 2 into health picks. He's sitting on the double Doran's Blade already. So 55 ability power with 9 and then 10% spell penetration. Huge chunk of cooldown reduction, predominantly due to that blue buff, of course. And farm-wise, gold-wise at least, we are sitting completely even with that single kill advantage going the way of SK. So farm, just small advantages in each lane, you know, at least for the most part. But we do see that Dedrayan sitting with his Nautilus, he's opted to go for the Heart of Gold first. Talol, he does have Paranoia, so he's setting up in the grass, or he was setting up, was thinking about a Paranoia gank, trying to use Janna as bait, but has opted to push now to the middle lane. And
as soon as they saw Talol in the bottom lane, the pings went down from SK, they knew he was there immediately, and he went, Ocelot went straight to Talol's red buff. Fortunately, Talol was wearing it, but it just shows the power you get. As soon as you find out where that jungler is, Ocelot knew he could go anywhere he wanted in the top half of the map.
Great map awareness, great team coordination. You know, somebody managing to call that. Somebody saying, look, we know where he is, so let's take advantage of the situation. Now, we do see Nocturne coming back to that bottom tri-bush. Are we going to see a Paranoia dive? Staying just under range of these creeps. Prathana putting some decent damage onto Candy Panda, to be honest. Landing a few auto attacks and looked like a rocket earlier. He's eating a little bit of damage back and forth. And once again, we still see Talal. He's just sitting there. It's 2 or 3 minutes he spent around this bottom lane. Nothing converted from it just yet. While all that's going on, we've got a big fight going down in the top lane. Now we do have the pressure on the bottom. Paranoia comes down. Slicing Maelstrom is out as well. Depth Charge comes up from Dedra, and he pops the claims to get away. Ignite is still ticking, though. Dredgeline pushes J-Ree back. No flash available means J-Ree goes down. And that's another kill that goes the way of SK. And once again, just so unlucky that the Nautilus is in and around the bottom lane just as Red Team Jungler is setting up. So we got some pings coming down into Talol. He is moving up. There goes the Lightning Rush. Misses the Thundering Shuriken. Dedran has only got enough mana for one Dredge Line. He's going to be falling backwards now as Hawkdon moves forward. Uses the Dredge Line to pull himself to the tower. Really great map awareness and great control there. Gets away unscathed. Doesn't even take a single point of damage from Derpers champions.
Hawkdon has so much damage right now. He's up to 99 AP. And, well, level 9 roaming around the map. Level 5 Glitter Lance, level 2 health picks. Oh, sorry, Kevin is now level 11. 10, sorry. I can't even read.
And a very, very cheeky Wraith Steal from Kevin. Just through the wall. One Deceit and one Foxfire manages to take out that big Wraith.
Yeah, Hawkdon hit 10 as soon as he gets back in the lane. So he's not lost too much, but by roaming to bottom he saved his team. And they're going to start a dragon. We know that SK have just backed away after that gank in the bot lane. They knew they were low on mana, low on health. And they managed to heal themselves up and get back out into the map quicker than SK have. They picked up the first dragon of the game, 12 minutes and 24 seconds.
So that keeps them tight on gold. Exactly the same, 14,700 for both sides. Kill advantage is 2-0, but of course, all that bonus gold from Drakes across the team manages to keep it balanced. And look at the mid lane, 98 CS to 108. It's still a 10 difference. And we haven't seen too much of either Lulu or Ari at this stage. They've roamed a little bit. They've moved back and forth. Ocelot just missing that wind slash onto Blade Master. And as I say, we haven't seen too much from the mid lane champions, and we do have a complete cluster at the moment. 4-man sitting at the, 4 of them, but look at the damage from the Glitter Lance and the Help picks. A great missile barrage there from Corki. Max range missile barrage. I think it was a big one as well, if I look at him. I think it was a big one that actually stole that. And now Corki manages to steal the blue buff from underneath SK's nose.
It's going to help him out quite a bit in the bottom lane now. He can harass from range with these rockets, some phosphorus bomb when they get in a bit close. It will mean Hawkdon's got a little bit of an issue in the mid lane up against Ari. But to be honest, Hawkdon was doing fine already, and Prathana could really do with the help.
Let's see whether or not this is going to swing things back in favor of Kevin. Not having to face off against the blue buff from Hawkdon. Does he have blue at the moment? He does not, and it should be up within the next minute or so. Ballpark. And Lulu Hawkdon building slightly differently to what we've seen in the previous game. Opting to go, he's got the double Dorans, and he's gone for the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, so really wanting to pick up the cooldown reduction. And we do also have Dedrian setting up in this top lane, waiting for the bait. There's some damage coming down. The stun comes out. Now the depth charge chases all the way to Blademaster. Knock up from the Angelic Wings as well as the knock up from the depth charge. Keeps him in place for a little bit. And a great dredge line. Pulls Blademaster back. He gets stunned. Another stun coming out from Ocelot. They're going to tank this tower a little bit. One more hit that will be able to pick up the kill. But now we do have Hawkdon coming up. Is he going to be able to find Ocelot? That is the question. Ocelot moves forward, flashes over the wall. And really good play there from SK Gaming. They pick up a kill from underneath the tower and get away unscathed.
Yeah, they're just coordinating these ganks really well. And I mean, the second that Lulu left the mid lane, Ari followed, Kevin came back up there. They knew exactly where Lulu was the whole way. Ocelot maybe didn't need to blow the flash because it was 3v1. But better safe than sorry. It does put them 3-0 up in about 500 gold. And sitting comfortably.
And no oracles yet. Nocturne sitting pretty with nothing at the moment. Nautilus he's not wearing the big pink eye. So, keeping an eye at the moment. Now look at the damage that's going out onto Candy Panda. He eats a couple of missile barrages from Prathana. And that blue buff should be wearing off, just about now. Now we've got some pressure in this middle lane. Kevin opting to move forward. He used his ultimate to try and take out Hawkdon, put a lot of damage down. And Hawkdon was forced to use Wild Growth just to save his own life. And it appears not having that blue buff is really making a difference. Unfortunately, Kevin missing both of those skill shots just as I jumped the camera over to him. Caster's curse, I'm afraid. For everybody that's just joined us, this is SK Gaming facing off against Team Derpers in a best of one. For Dreamhack qualifies. Paranoia goes down in the middle lane. A flash from Hawkdon gets him out of range of the Orb of Deception coming backwards. Manages to get just out of range of the charm. And the timing on that fear from Talol was literally enough to save Hawkdon's life. It's a great pressure in that middle lane.
Really lucky play by SK. The fear running just the right length of time in the right direction.
And the flash.
And a great flash from Hawkdon.
Just dodging the return damage from Talol's Nocturne. So the first kill on the board for Derpers. We do see Nocturne. He is still... No, he doesn't have the red buff anymore. He's going to be coming out. Tries to land the Duskbringer. It lands just short of Nif. Here comes the Slicing Maelstrom, so that's going to apply some stuns. The Unbreakable Will does come out from Nif, though, so no ultimate for the next 2 minutes. 2 ultimates blown, which does at least reduce the kill potential for Candy Panda and Nif. But it doesn't make him any, not significantly less scary. The harass that Candy Panda...
Sorry, Ocelot's going to have to be a little bit careful up there now. Blademaster's been harassing him down. He's got Ignite, he's got his ultimate, and everything else off cooldown, and Ocelot's pretty low. He knows this, and he's gone straight back into base. Blademaster's going to shove it up to the tower to lay some XP and gold.
Putting on a really cool show with those Blade Surges as well. Auto attack, Blade Surge. Auto attack, Blade Surge. So, I like that. It's one of my favorite animations in the game. So 3-1 is the score. Gold is still completely even. The first turret of the game is most likely going to go down. Creep should be able to finish that one off. 1 or 2 more attacks from Candy Panda. Let's just see. There's the wave. And of course...
He's going to leave it. Yeah. He wants as many CS to die to that tower as possible. Make sure Corki is as far behind as he possibly can be.
Well, look at the creep score disadvantage at the moment. Corki 105. to the 153 on Kennen. In the mid lane, you've got Ari on 138 to 140 of Hawkton. So that blue buff made a big difference. It allowed Lulu to pull, some creep score back. She was a little bit behind. But of course, the Paranoia gang from Nocturne allows Lulu to at least pick up one assist in the background.
Now, Hawkton is going to go and get this blue buff. And, well, Nift's on his way across there, but a little bit too late. There's no steal this time around. And immediately, Derpers rotate around towards the dragon. But SK are here and waiting. As you said before, no oracles. We've got a pink ward up from Derpers. But other than that, everyone's got quite a lot of vision in the various bushes and around this dragon pen. And everyone's here and waiting.
So SK Gaming looking at leashing the dragon, but they get rid of the pink ward first. Now that the vision is gone, Candy Pan is going to save up some energy, wait to commit for a team fight, and we do have a full 5-on-5 at the moment in this river. Let's see who's going to engage first. Are we going to see a depth charge? I doubt we're going to see a Paranoia from Talal. He'll probably save that for later, or he should anyway. And it's just, it's tentative. It's in the trick ball, and there goes the dive. Blade Surge as well as the Glitter Lance. Candy Pan is almost removed for the fight. A Paranoia dive plus 1 or 2 attacks manages to take him out. Aurelia actually gets the last hit though. The Wild Growth does go on to Prathana, and now all of a sudden, Aurelia and Prathana are the one that are under so much damage. Blade Master now in return. Nautilus gets taken out in the background, so it's a 2-for-1 exchange. Derpers still in control at the moment. They're managing to chase Corki. Are they going to be able to catch Corki? There should be one dead Prathana. He's juked a little bit. One more stun from Ocelot. That should pick it up, making it a 2-for-2. One. Come on. There we go. So a 2-for-2 exchange, and let's see who picks up Dragon. Is Derpers going to be able to do this? Talal is very low. They decided to fall back. There goes the Howling Gale for the, disengage. And just so unlucky there, Candy Panda being caught, not being able to get off a really good slicing Maelstrom, actually not even casting at that time. There's too much damage being taken before the fight had even begun.
I really like how Prathana did that. He Valkyried in panic away just from Kevin, just avoid the damage, it's fine. But then, oh god, I'm in the enemy jungle, what am I going to do? Ocelot's chasing. And just using the vision, darting backwards and forwards, he managed to stay alive for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Dragged Ocelot as far away from the dragon as possible. And as a result, nobody's killed it. Everyone's back, reset and healed up. And we're looking for fight number 2.
1,000 gold difference at the 20-minute mark. We've seen one tower down. And the teams they're now transitioning over to this team fight stage. They're transitioning over to the portion of the game where you never travel alone, and if you do, you die. It's generally the rule of thumb. Have a look at the wards from Derpers. 4 wards in and around the dragon area. From the river bush on the top, in the dragon pit itself. But unfortunately, having fallen back, the champion's been fairly low. They give up this dragon uncontested, and SK Gaming take a small advantage in terms of the gold lead.
Yeah, Hawkton and Derpers needed to grab just 1 kill, needed to make that 5v4 if they wanted to try and defend that, and they couldn't quite get that pick. SK were positioned 2 up, and they cannot win a 5v fight. They hadn't all been back to heal. Nocturne, Lulu and Jana had still been out since the start of the fight, so they had to give it up, and SK grab that dragon and take the lead by 2,700 gold. And
still not 1 oracles on the field. These teams are running around, they're running straight over wards. Neither side willing to commit to an oracle's elixir just yet. And I think that's a little bit of a mistake. At this stage in the game, when you start roaming, when you start moving as a team, and when you look at the ward coverage that the Derpers have down, just look at those red dots. They really want to know what's happening in the river and what's happening around the mid lane and the mid section of the map. Ocelot playing.
Jana actually staying in the mid lane because Nif's here helping out Ari. Letting the AD carries solo down each other, and actually Nif take quite a bit of damage from Hawkton. That help picks and the Glitter Lance combo, taking away about half his health, and a couple of auto attacks doing the rest.
Looking at the build so far as well, Ocelot, he's finished his phase, he's got a BF sword. Look at the bottom lane, SK Candy Panda now moving forward with the red buff. Huge attack speed, does manage to take out Corki as well. Paranoia is now being used, and that looks like it's on the top lane. Ocelot, the fear pulls him backwards for a second. Now that he's locked up with the red buff, they managed to pick up a very easy kill on that top lane. And they exchange 1 for 1. Now on the bottom lane, Candy Panda's being dived. Hawkton taking so much damage. The stun coming out underneath the turret, and Candy Panda survives. Wow, that was immense from Candy Panda. managed to lock up Hawkdon underneath the turret, and the turret just did all the damage, even managing to kill him, or kill Hawkdon through the wild growth. Great play there by Candy Panda.
Brilliant play by the entire bottom lane, in fact, from SK. The headbutt pulverizer and Nif coming in at right the last second. Too much CC for Lulu to handle.
Why are we watching Nif farming? That's the boring one. Oh, it's the giant cow. So 7-4 is the kills. We finally have a fairly noticeable gold lead, 3,000 gold. Split between 5 champions, however, that's not a massive advantage. There's the gold scores up on your screen at the moment. So you can see exactly how it's split. Gold leader so far, Candy Panda 7,400. A good 1,000 gold ahead of anybody on the Derpers side. Riven second up with a 4-1 scoreline. He's sitting on 7,000 as well. Completed his Bloodthirst, and he's going to start farming that up. And now we do see Blade Master potentially part of an SK sandwich. But I think he's going to be able to get away. Just fall back. Yeah, there we go. He's going to move backwards a little bit. I doubt they're going to do a 3-man dive. A very nice juke there to get away from the dredge line. Just a small little step to the left, and that giant anchor then misses.
It's a lot of SK in the top half of that jungle, and Talon needs to be a little bit careful as he walks across this ward. Should be safe, but again, Candy Panda 1v1 in the bot lane against Corkin. He's already proved he can win that fight. So the farmer going to have to be careful, especially as the rest of SK are looping around trying to grab Hawkdon. He was standing on a ward, and Candy Panda starts the chase. Going to keep him down. Needs to land one more mark of the storm for the stun. It does go down when he's in the bush. Ocelot and Nif are bringing him along. The ult will come up from Candy Panda, chaining the stun. Ult comes from Hawkdon. He's just trying to kite them as long as possible, getting them away from the rest of his team. He knows he's dead, but there's Nautilus and Ari pushing the mid lane. Hawkdon will drop. Candy Panda gets the kill. He's an assist from Nif thanks to the heal.
I jumped straight over to the middle, assuming that there was going to be a fight, but sadly, nobody was beating one another in the head. So we do
just firing out 1 or 2 love hearts at everyone, hoping to land it.
So sweet. But we do see this time around, J-Ree, a very nice dredge line, but it actually gets interrupted halfway through. Talal, there goes the spell shield, blocks at least 1 spell. Kevin taking a lot of damage, forced to use a second Spirit Rush backwards. Then this next Spirit Rush in conjunction with the Ignite. Nif dives forward, pulverized headbutt, manages to pick up the kill. And J-Ree on Janna, having the first oracles of the game that we've seen thus far. But when you're sitting in your base defending, you can't clear out vision. And it looks like SK are rolling towards Baron buff. Knowing Nocturne's down, knowing that smite is not available, this might be the first Baron of the game.
That's only what SK are aiming for. We do have 4 members of Derpers up, but the one that is dead is the one with the smite, like you just mentioned. So SK are feeling safe from that still. The Baron down to 3,000 health as Venom gets knocked up and Charm is down to 2,000 health. Ticking down slowly. The Candy Panda's really low and actually gets picked off by Derpers nicely. Ocelot is in the middle of everyone. Rathana needs to be careful with Ari doing what damage he can. He will get dredge lined and snared. The kill goes to Kevin. Derpers doing a good job of interrupting this Baron. Blade Master will drop down. Ocelot is still standing. Hawkdon in the middle of all that with his shield and his glitter lance still poking at SK. And ultimately, Derpers have stopped the Baron attempt, and that's what the whole point of that fight was.
They did give away 1 additional kill at the very least. But they have defended against Baron, and now do they think they have enough damage? Without Corki and Aurelia there, they won't be able to do it. So, smart move from Derpers. They're not going to fall back. Jerry's just clearing out those wards, just trying to get a little bit of that gold back and remove the vision from SK Gaming. And not too bad, but I think Candy Panda a little bit out of position, a little bit out of place there. He was caught and focused down. I know he was trying to run interference, but maybe should have stuck a little bit closer to his team. So once SK had peeled off the Baron, they maybe could have turned that fight around a little bit more advantageously.
Can you hit tab a second? Oh, there we go. Chat was complaining. But Dragon's back up. SK making the way across there. Candy Panda can go and get that massive farm in the bot lane. And let's see how Derpers play this. Because it's not uncommon to see teams see an opponent do Dragon and instantly go in for the Baron. But J-Ree gets dredge lined and snared by Daedrian. Ocelot's coming in from the mid lane, forces a flash away. Janna's safe, but now without that flash, the next fight's going to be a little bit more risky.
And Nif does snare the Dragon, or at least leash him rather. Gonna pull him out just for a little bit. And now Candy Panda moving forward. huge attack speed, 1.7 attack speed. The Phantom Dance is completed, the BF Sword as well as the Wriggles Lantern. So huge, huge, huge attack speed compared to the 1.2 on Corki and the 169 damage. So a lot of utility going to be coming out from Kennen. All of the stuns, and of course him sitting with the red buff, that's going to at least allow the slow to be applied as well. And Lulu, not necessarily as effective this time around. 0-2-4, only completed the Abyssal Scepter and the Ionian Boots. And currently at a Blasting Wand, probably saving up towards a needlessly large rod. But still needs another 400 gold before that's completed.
Yeah, okay, SK won the last couple of fights. They're up by 5,000 gold. But this game is by no means over. Derpers have a really strong team comp. Lulu, we've already shown how versatile she can be with AL and the way they played it. They've got Corki, they got a lot of damage from Nocturne. Everyone knows how annoying Aurelia can be at the end of a game. Darting with the Blade Surge between everyone in your team, doing true damage and stunning and general annoyance.
Of course,
so if they can pull something out.
Blade Master is currently building a DPS Aurelia. Trinity Force completed as well as the pickaxe. So we're going to have to see what that pickaxe gets upgraded to. But I would assume he's going to need a little bit more survivability and a little bit more defense items, or defensive items rather. Dredgeline goes out, manages to burn the flash there from Hawkdon. So at the very least it's a summoner spell blown. And we do have a small split from SK. 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Dredgeline not managing to pick anybody up this time round. And Dedrian going for a complete team build. Shirelia's Reverie completed as well as Aegis of the Legion. Currently sitting on 840 gold. There comes the Paranoia. Paranoia is diving at long range towards Dedrian. They've got a split at the moment and instantly blow up Ocelot. Aurelia's now dive forward onto Dedrian. He's going to use that Dredgeline to pull himself to safety. And now we've got a 4 versus 5 for Dragon. Only this time around, SK are a man down.
And SK are an important man down. That Riven did a lot of damage as far as their team's concerned, and she's great with the CC and that W. Helps shutting down someone like Corki, but they're gonna go in anyway. Candy Panda's got a lot of CC himself. Blade Master darts in onto Kennen. He's gonna do a lot of damage. Candy Panda's being ignored. Talon goes really low. Baron ripped apart Derpers, and the magic resist reduction and armor reduction they took, and damage reduction as well. There's a lot of debuffs on this guy people don't really think about, and SK tore through Derpers. So they help Candy Panda's ult and Kevin.
Completely focused on Dedrian, and that's you know, fair enough. He's the one that's up front on the front line, but it just allowed Kevin and Candy Panda to tear them apart. Candy Panda jumped in there. You got a slicing maelstrom across 3 or 4 of the champions from the front. In the back end, you got Baron Nashor taking out the Derpers from behind. And Candy Panda just completely melted them with all of his auto attacks and his abilities. They ignored the carries, focused the jungle, and that's never something you should be doing.
Now, well played, SK. They are up again by 8,000 gold, and they're carrying this Baron buff, which is a massive deal, considering the stats it gives you. 16 kills to 7, and they also have, well, morale and momentum and confidence now on their side. They're going to be feeling great. We just won a 5v4 without Riven. We picked up a Baron off it. We kept both our carries alive. And we're going to go straight up the mid lane and take your base. And
with that big fight and the kills that Candy Panda managed to pick up, he's actually completed his Infinity Edge right now. Combined with his Phantom Dancer and the Wriggles, it's so much damage. Attack speed's now up to 1.9 attacks per second. And Candy Panda is just going to be melting faces all day long. Oh, that was quite a nice Howling Gale there from Janna. Jerry just knocking up 3 of the SK players. But with the 10,000 gold lead and Baron buff, it's not really a fight that they can be picking right now.
Candy Bandit is sitting in the back, also attacking the tower down, taking away about half of his health before the minions run out. And Hawkdon and Janna taking quite a bit of a poke through the wall as well.
I'm going to be very careful.
You can stand here and take this poke all day long with this Baron regen. They go in, take 1 or 2 tower hits, a couple of shots from each of the champions, back away, and before the next minion waves here, they're safe.
Do have Nif moving forward. There goes a great Dredgeline into Blade Master. Look at the damage that's gone down onto Lulu. Monsoon has been popped, but it does cost them a tower. Janna and Lulu forced to fall backwards, just taking so much poke and so much damage from SK. They pick up the first inhibitor of the game. They still have just under half the time left on the Baron buff. And they're turning their attention now to the middle and the top lane. Make sure that the lanes aren't naturally pushing against them. But it looks as though SK, they've stomped their authority on this game. And they want to be driving home a victory within the next 5 to 10 minutes, would be my assumption.
Yeah, how long is there left on their Baron buff? Stealing the red buff, and they've got about a minute and a half left. If they do knock up onto J-Ree, gets ignited, gets burst down. Osler even using his ult on that, just to be sure. Well, SK get a nice pick. They're not going to get too much from it. There's no objectives up that they can really make the advantage for, but kill's a kill, and actually, they're going to go siege mid-turret, and they have got 25 seconds where they've still got Baron buff, and Janna's still dead.
This is going to be the next tower going down, or the next inhibitor tower going down. Derpers cannot, dodge this right now, and look at the damage that Kevin's managed to put down onto Hawkdown. He does have the ignite. There goes the wild growth. That's going to save Hawkdown for a little bit more. The knockup comes out from Northwest from the depth charge. Kevin does go down in and amongst all that, but Irelia and Nocturne have gone down in the background. A few more auto attacks from Kennen, maybe enough that does actually pick up Lulu underneath the turret. A Dredgeline pulls J-Ree all the way forward. Riven dives forward with those broken wings, and Kennen manages to pick up the last hit. So this is going to be the next inhibitor. If they turn their attention back, no, they still want more kills. Stun under the turret. A few laser pew-pew shots onto Candy Panda. That scares him away. But it looks as though SK Gaming, they just want to close this out. They just want to pick up the victory. And you can't blame them. 4 champions down. GG, SK Gaming.
GG indeed. Really well played. Solid performance all the way through. They went up 3 kills, took the early lead, and to be honest, they never really slipped behind from that point onwards. They grabbed 1,000, 2,000 gold, and it just got bigger and bigger. And that fight at Baron, I mean, he didn't even need to see the rest of the game. That was pretty much sealed the deal.
So there is the final kill scores for SK Gaming versus Team Derpers. SK advanced to the next round. This is, of course, the qualifying rounds for Dreamhack. The top 2 from this will qualify for Sunday's games, and you need to place in the top 4 on Sunday to be able to actually go to Dreamhack. That's the real key. Of course, let's have a quick look at the damage graphs. I love pulling this up and checking it out. Look at the damage that Candy Panda had put out. Huge, huge, huge amounts. So, for the time being, that was, of course, SK advancing to the next round. My name is Quickshot. Panky's on in the background, and we're going to throw up some music while we wait for the next game. We will be jumping in